Right, I shot the Mexico GP for Formula One, and this is how it went. Flying pretty much straight from Shanghai after shooting a collab between Montclair and Mercedes, I went straight into the Mexico Grand Prix, and I'm not gonna lie, it was a little bit tough to adjust to that time zone, but we got there in the end, and I had an awesome week and a really good time. I thought it'd be cool to do a bit of a breakdown of some of the photos that I took that week, and maybe make this into a little bit of a series. Let's see. The Thursday of most race weeks is a media day, and so this day is sort of allocated to covering the drivers entering the paddock, and sometimes they're coming in with different fashion styles and outfits and whatnot. And so this year, the Mexico Grand Prix promoter did something quite fun where they put some models slash actors dressed up in sort of Day of the Dead themed outfits, and they sort of greeted the drivers as they entered. This is what Checo was wearing, and he made a little joke to the photographers because we weren't exactly sure if it was him. We knew it was him, but obviously you can only see his eyes, so he said, as the photographers were like, "Oh, remove the mask, Checo," he was like, "I'm not Checo," and so it actually left people a little bit confused as to whether it was him or not, but it was, obviously. Next on the agenda was to shoot a fun little Jenga game between Carlos and Charles. At some of the locations across the calendar, the promoter puts on like fun little games in the paddock, and it's quite cool. It's a nice way for the drivers to engage with each other and I guess the fans in the paddock. When you work for a team in F1, you're generally on a different path to the trackside photographers, and you're usually stuck in the paddock or the garage, and so this year I was lucky enough to go trackside, which was really cool. I do love shooting trackside. And so here are some of the shots that I took during the practice sessions. Whilst I was trackside, I was heading back, I think, back to the paddock, and I saw Pato sort of over the fence. He was greeting some of the fans, and he was signing this big head or cardboard cutout version of his head. And so I snapped these photos over the fence. Alex Pereira was with the Stake F1 team that weekend, and so I got invited to come in and shoot some photos of him as a guest, and which was really cool to be back with the Sauber team. Once more, just for 5 minutes, but it was pretty fun to see everybody again. Straight into race day. So this is where things sort of pick up again in terms of workload. It becomes a priority again to get sort of the drivers entering, so you can show fans across social media, build that hype and that suspension for the race itself. These are a few of the shots that I took of Lewis Hamilton entering the paddock. The days before, he was entering sort of in a secretive route, so no one really was able to take photos of him, but this day he did enter through the main entrance, and so myself and the rest of the photographers were able to take some photos of him walking to the Mercedes hospitality. Before I knew it, it was already time for the drivers' parade, and this year, I've got to hand it to them, the Mexico Grand Prix promoters, they went all out with like this show, essentially this dance show. There's people singing. It was phenomenal. They took over the entire arena, and I don't know how many people were there. It was maybe 100 people, 100 sort of actors and dancers and singers, and they put on this amazing show, these dresses, and it was phenomenal. And so these are some of the photos that I took then. It was pretty spectacular. Heading straight into the race, I actually went up into the grandstands just to see if I could see anything that was, a different angle to shoot, or just to experience that vibe, because I missed that in the last few years. I didn't get to go in the grandstands during the sessions. After the race was finished, I went straight to the podium, but these were taken on the podium of Carlos and Lando and Charles celebrating. It was a pretty awkward podium. Yeah, not my favorite. We're shooting through these wires. Not the best, but these are the shots that I took during that moment. Then it came to the team celebrations. I was amongst a group of other photographers sort of all lined up, ready for the team to come out and celebrate their win. And these were the champagne showers, and Carlos celebrating that podium, which he so well deserved. The camera got covered in champagne, and even had a microphone that was dripping after. It was fun though, I had such a good time shooting that and covering this event as a whole, and I'm so stoked that I've got to cover the triple header, which is coming up as well, with Vegas, Qatar, Abu Dhabi, and then I've got a shoot lined up after that. Let me know what you think of the shots in the comments, or if there's any questions, and I'll see you guys soon.